Hi, I'm Marshall. I'm the owner of Going Gear, and I'm here in our store in Smyrna, Georgia. This is the extended review of the NItecore P12 flashlight. Alright, here we have the NItecore P12 in its packaging. Some notes on the information on the front: 950 lumens on max output, 520 hours of runtime on the lowest output, and you have 220 meters of beam distance on that highest output. And as always, you can get the full specs at goinggear.com, and of course you can buy it from us there as well. Let's go ahead and pull this out, show you everything that you get on the inside. There's the light. Let's pop that out, set it to the side. Other stuff that you get, so you have user manual, warranty information. User manual, NItecore is one of the few companies that actually puts together a really good user manual. So good information about the ANSI specs and the operation and care and troubleshooting and all that kind of stuff. So definitely take a look at that when you get this, when you get your light. Accessories that you get, so there's a little tactical grip ring that attaches on right there if you want to use that with like a handgun. It also helps keep the light from rolling around on flat surfaces. So some people like those, some people don't. Completely personal preference. Pocket clip, obviously it's removable because it's not on there right now. You have a lanyard. Their lanyards are actually pretty nice. And then spare O-rings and a spare tail cover cap in case you happen to need to replace that for any reason. Holster. NItecore's been making some nicer holsters these days. So this is a decent nylon holster. Slide the light in there. You can see it protects the light pretty well. Most of it's covered up. You got some good attachment points on the back. Pretty thick nylon, so it's going to hold up fairly well. So you got the hook and loop there, you got the other attachment point there, and you got the plastic D-ring up there. So lots of different attachment options for your pack or belt or however else you want to attach it. Okay, so that's all the accessories and everything. Here is the light itself. So you have two switches on here, one on the rear, one on the side, and we'll talk about the interface more here in just a little bit. There is the reflector and the LED down in there. It's a Cree XML2 LED, and then it's a smooth reflector. So decent beam distance, 222 meters. Definitely nothing to scoff at, especially for a light this size. You know, normally lights this size will get you out to 100 meters or so. So 220 meters is pretty good for something about this size. Okay, so this light is powered by two CR123 batteries or one 18650. As always, I always recommend 18650s unless you're going to be storing the light for a long time. So CR123s have really good shelf life, so if you're just going to leave this as an emergency light or just leave it in your truck or by the bedstand and use it once a year, use CR123s, great shelf life, they're not too expensive. If you're going to be using it a lot, absolutely get yourself a rechargeable 18650 setup, and the reason is this will save you a lot of money in the long run. It's a little bit more upfront cost, but we have bundles on the site that'll bundle the charger and the batteries and everything together and the flashlight, so that'll save you some money. But yeah, if you're using it a lot, the 18650s will save you money in the long run. And the ones we recommend these days are the Olight 3400 milliamp hour 18650s. Reasonable cost, very, very high quality, and they're going to get you the best runtime. So anyway, we're going to open the light up. We're going to stick that 18650 in there. There's probably a silica packet in there because they love their silica packets. Actually, there is not one in there. Wow. Maybe they stopped putting them inside the flashlights. So slid the battery down in there. There you can kind of see the inside of the head. We'll put the head back on. And as with most lights, you can put the battery in either at the head or you can take the tail cap off, whichever you prefer, it doesn't matter. So the operation on this guy, rear switch gives you momentary. So lightly press that rear switch, you get the momentary activation. Click it all the way for constant on. And then the side switch will cycle through your different outputs. And it does have a memory, so if you turn it off, turn it back on, as long as you're not hitting that side switch, it's going to be in the same output. You also have some flashing modes. So on the side switch, when it's turned on, press and hold, and it'll go into strobe. Press and hold again, and you have a location beacon. Actually, that's SOS. And then one more time is going to be the location beacon. So it'll flash every now and then. Now, there is no memory on the SOS or the beacon, but if you have it in the strobe, turn it off, turn it back on, it's going to be in the strobe. The other two do not have the memory. And then you can just tap the switch when it's in one of those flashing modes to get it back into the regular illumination. It's a pretty simple interface. You know, it sounds kind of complicated, but it's not that bad at all. So again, real quick on it, lightly press the rear switch for momentary, click it all the way for constant on, side switch switches between the different outputs, press and hold for strobe, keep on doing that for your SOS modes and your beacon flashing modes. So, pretty cool, relatively simple little light, very impressive output, 950 lumens on a compact little guy. And I talked about the throw, 222 meters is really nice for a light this size. You'll see that better when we go outside. It's a relatively spread out beam. So it's a nice spread out beam, gives you a lot of output and pretty good distance. This is a nice light for sure. All right, let's go ahead and take the P12 outside. We'll show you how it does outside. All right, so we're outside with the NItecore P12 flashlight. Pretty cool high output little flashlight. Got the big 4D mag light that I always use since pretty much everybody's familiar with how it performs. Gonna go and try out the mag light first. So there is a little tree about 25 feet away. Dock house down there on the lake about 100 feet away. And let's go ahead and try out the P12, see how it does. So there's that bush, there's the dock house. Whole lot of lumens coming out of this little guy, and just so you can see, it really is that P12. Pretty impressive little light, especially for the output, the size, and the cost. You know, it's relatively inexpensive compared to a lot of the other high output lights out there. This is it on the low mode, so you can see, great for up close kind of stuff. Really fantastic battery life on it, and then when you need them, you have the other higher outputs. So lots of different modes and outputs and versatility in this light. They did a good job on this little guy. So we'll zoom in just so you can see how well it's lit up down there. 100 feet away, different levels. Obviously the lowest one's not going to get out there. Second one actually gets out there pretty well. And then the higher ones get out there really, really well. Again, not bad for such a compact light. You got that nice beam on there. So you got the nice wide beam, so you see the hot spot, the bright part in the center, transitions out to the spill or the dimmer part really, really well. And makes for a nice wide area illuminating beam. Kind of shine it around just so you can see what it does. Okay, let's try it a little bit longer distance and see how it does. Alright, got a longer range to work with now. Pretty impressive little light, NItecore P12. Let's go and give it a shot. So there's a boat about 20 feet away. Got some targets set up out there, longer distances. First one's out there at about 50 yards. Second one is out there at about 100 yards. Tree line beyond is about 130 yards. You can see it makes it out to all that pretty well. Not too bad for such a compact, relatively inexpensive light. You know, powered by a single 18650, pretty small light, so you get that nice floody beam. You know, you can still see on the wider range, still got that wide open floody beam, so you're lighting up a wide area once, but still pretty good distance. You know, lighting up those trees out there at 130 yards, it's not bad at all. We'll kind of shine it around a little bit, show you what the other outputs look like. Got that super low one, and then you can bump it up for when you need the higher output. Not as good a runtime, of course, but when you need the better runtime, just drop it down and you're good to go. Not too bad for a little light. So there you go. That is the NItecore P12. If you like it, you can buy it from us at goinggear.com. Any questions or comments, you can reach me in the comments or any of my guys at goinggear.com. And if you like the video, please subscribe. We do a lot of gear and flashlight videos. That's it. Thanks for watching.